Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorda, and I'm your host with Joe Habib as my co-host. Easy for me to say today. And we got a great show for you today. If you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now, 323-870-3857. Let's get it started. DAZN, Jack Catal versus Jorge Lenarz. Jack Catal wins a unanimous decision over Lenarz, 117-111, 116-112 twice. The one thing about this fight that I found interesting is at the end, Josh Taylor was really giving it to Jack Catal for going the distance with this guy. Last I checked, Josh Taylor lost his last fight, so I don't know what he's going on about. Beeb, I like the fact that Catal won. I like the fact that he won decisively. I like the fact that Lenarz is a name everybody recognizes. Is this going to, is Josh Taylor, is this his next fight? Is this going to have to get settled with Josh Taylor? Because I don't think he gets another shot at Teofimo. After his last performance. He was completely one-sided, just blasted.
Well, because Josh Taylor, we still don't know what he's going to do, if he wants to move to 147 or if he's going to stay at 140. Eddie Hearn was talking about this fight in a couple of interviews, this potential fight. He loves the idea of doing these domestic rivalries. They do well in the UK, right? We saw Lee Wood versus Josh Warrington and some other ones that Chris Eubank, Liam Smith. Those fights do pretty well in the UK.
Ben. Yeah, Eubank, Conor Ben,
So Eddie wants to try to get this one done because he thinks it would do good numbers. But the problem is it would be at a catch weight, they're saying, like 143, 144. And I hate catch weights, right? And then what happens is there's an asterisk. If Catal wins, then it says, oh, well, Josh Taylor was drained at the catch weight. So
there's always an excuse, right?
Yeah.
Really,
But Josh Taylor, for him to go up to 147, it's going to be a tough route for him up there. So what does he do? He really can't make 140 comfortably anymore. And even if he does decide to stay at 140, he's got to work his way back into the rankings and position himself for a title shot. Yeah, I think this would be the next best logical move, in my opinion. I think it would be a great fight. I think it would do good numbers. I think it would garner a lot of interest at the domestic level, not even the domestic level, at the local level, in the UK, right? So, yeah, I think it's a good fight. But Catal, to me, I don't know what it was. He hurt Lenarz a few times, and for whatever reason, he just couldn't finish him off. Didn't really go in for the kill, but he had his legs buckled, had him wobbled, had him stumbling, and you would have it looked like Lenarz was just ready to go, and for whatever reason, Jack Catal didn't finish him off. Even Eddie Hearn was surprised. Other people were surprised. I don't know. It's hard to say what was going on through Jack Catal's mind throughout the fight. Was he showing the guy too much respect? I don't know. But at the end of the day, on paper, this was a mismatch for Jack Catal. It was basically a stay busy fight. And Jorge Lenarz, after the fight, announced his retirement. So pretty much shows you where he was at. He was He had one foot. He had 1 foot out the door already. But judging upon his quick decision to retire right after the fight, so
I think it was a good move.
Sure.
I think it was a good move for him, to retire. Again, we know Jorge Lenarz. We know his name. He's got the name recognition, but it wasn't an overly impressive victory there. He did what he was supposed to do. So. I don't know. T-Style, thank you so much, my friend. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Never ask you to work in a coal mine, man. Just hit the like button. Just hit the button. That's all you got to do.
Hit the button. Very easy.
DAZN. Another fight on DAZN was Alexis Roca versus Giovanni Santillan. And this was an upset. And, Beeb, I'm going to let you talk about this in a minute, especially the odds which really got me. Giovanni Santallan wins by 6th-round KO over Alexis Roca. Huge upset. Beeb, talk about it.
I was shocked at this one. Going in, Alexis Rocha was he was a minus 650, right? And Centillion was a plus 425. And I was talking to
huge
underdog,
I was
talking to D-Style about this fight, and I was talking to Maestro about this fight, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be another walk in the park for Rocha, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were telling me, this is a tough fight. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a competitive matchup. Like, oh, okay, I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. And I think everyone was wrong because it wasn't a competitive matchup. Because
one-sided, yeah.
It was one-sided, but the guy that was the underdog was the guy that put on the dominating performance. And it's funny. We like to, I know I do this sometimes after I watch a fight and I say to myself, what did I miss here? How did I get this one wrong? And if you really think about it, Rocha has 21 fights, but Centillion has like 32 fights. So he had more experience going in. He had that tough fight back in 2020 with the Antonio DeMarco, the former lightweight champion of the world. Definitely passed it at the time. And Centillion kind of squeaked by in that fight, won by majority decision. And I think one of the cards was like 115, 113. I think the other two cards were like 115, 113. He had a really off night, although that was back in 2020. But this one just for me came out of nowhere, right? It came out of nowhere. And he was just walking Rocha down and put on constant pressure, and he just kept pushing him back. And Rocha no one really likes to be pushed back. But Rocha just had no answers for being pushed back. Sometimes when you're being pushed back, as a fighter, you make adjustments, try to freeze the action by grabbing and holding on. Maybe you can try to turn the guy when he's coming forward. Easier said than done. But he couldn't do anything. He was just being forced back, knocked off balance, couldn't set his feet to really counter or come back with anything solid because he was constantly being forced back and off balance, right? And it seemed like everything Centillion hit him with hurt him, right? He was beating him from pillar to post right from Jump Street. So this was a serious shocker. I hate to act like Robbie now, but this is one of those types of fights when you're getting beaten up from the beginning bell to the to the ending, right? He didn't win 1 second of this fight.
Why was he
1
such
second
a big,
of this fight?
You know what surprised me? Why was he such a big underdog in this fight? You got a guy who's 31-0 coming into this fight. Why was he that big of an underdog to this guy?
Well, that's the $1 million question. D-Star was saying it. Maestro was saying it. I think people on the round table last week were saying this is going to be a good fight.
Yeah. And
I wasn't so sure about it. Right. And Centillion, he's kind of made the rounds. He's been on some different promoters' shows, right? And he did some shows with Top Rank. So he worked his way up the ranks. He kept busy. He was grinding it out. He was grinding it out there. And he I don't know. He just I think he came out of nowhere, but a lot of people they knew beforehand something that I didn't, right? And I've seen Centillion fight a couple times, but it's like I haven't watched him fight in a while, so you tend to sometimes forget about guys if you haven't seen him for a while. They kind of just slip your mind. You don't think about them too much. But guess what? I'm gonna be staying on top of this guy from now on. But this victory right here is a game changer. This is one of those types of fights. This is a breakthrough victory for him. I mean,
Roca was somebody we all knew. Santallan. Santallan is like I've heard of it. I've never. I don't remember him. He doesn't. Like you said, there's not that one fight that sticks out with him.
Yeah, he never.
And again, we've probably seen him.
You see him on undercards and stuff. Yeah. You may see him on smaller shows at main eventing, but he never had that breakthrough fight. Like Rocha, you can say what you want, but he had that Blair Cobbs victory where he just blew him out of there, right?
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobbs wasn't like a
Sure.
world beater, but he was a name
Right.
guy that everyone knew.
Everybody knew him. Yep.
Yeah. And then,
Yep.
and then after that, people started like jumping on Rocha a little bit. And Rocha was even being mentioned as a potential opponent for Terrence Crawford at one point, right? De La Hoya was saying that. So he was right in line for a title shot. Now Centillion's the guy who's right in line for a title shot.
Yeah. And at 32-0, man, he's been there for a minute. So give him what's due. Give him what's due.
And they used to spar each other too. So you would think that going in, Rocha probably knew something about Centillion. Centillion probably knew something about him, but Rocha must have felt confident going in, must have felt confident going in, but I'm sure this is something he's never seen during the sparring session. And again, sparring is sparring. It's practice. There's so many variables.
Especially if you're helping somebody get ready for a fight, you're fighting a different style than you're used to fighting. So,
and here's the thing too. You're coming like if you're giving somebody work and they're training for a fight and they're trying to make weight, you go in like maybe 2 weeks left to go in the fight. They're not, they're a little weakened because they're trying to make weight. You're at full strength because you may not have a fight scheduled, so you're not trying to cut weight. So there's different circumstances there. You may be bigger and heavier than them at the time when you're sparring them, right? Who knows? Like there's so many different things, right? And again, when you're in there,
you'd be sick that day. Who knows?
Yeah, when you're in there, you're not trying to bomb the guy out of there because you want to be able to come back the next day. If you go in there trying to hurt the guy, you're not going to get invited back, right? So it's just different mentality, bro. It's just a different mentality.
Completely
so this whole sparring thing,
you can't ever judge anything on the sparring stuff.
No, I never put too much stock into that. I never have.
Yeah. Dan from Chi-Town brings up a good point. We'll talk about this later, but if I want you to save this question here. If PBC goes to DAZN, that would make me subscribe again. That's interesting. Yeah. Given our news here in a little bit here. Those were the two fights this weekend. There was some, there was obviously some undercards. We had one big upset one, again, this is on DAZN. Not exactly, and I'll say it, I'll keep saying it every time they come up with this stuff, man. It's not exactly a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
Not exactly true. Either card was pay-per-view.
That's true.
And you're paying $20 some dollars a month. It's just not worth it. The what is it? The pay-per-view that I read. Did you see the pay-per-view coming out in December from PBC or something like that? It's like Keith Thurman
versus
Danny Garcia, maybe, or
Danny Garcia.
Lara.
Danny Garcia's fighting Erislandy Lara, and Keith Thurman's fighting. Oh, the fuck is that guy? Oh my god, the Russian guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Elias.
Oh, why am I
Stanionis.
Yeah, Stanionis. How the fuck did I forget his name? Jesus Christ, I'm drawing blanks today. But yeah, Stanionis. He's fighting Stanionis. I'm surprised he took that fight. That's a dangerous fight for Keith Thurman, bro. But I think he sees the writing on the wall, like
writing's on the wall, son. What are you going to do?
What else are you going to do now? Like they're not messing around anymore.
How about this? None of them. Boots Ennis, nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Who's promoting that guy?
He's kind of
really.
He's kind of
PBC is his manager. Who's promoting this guy?
Well, technically, he doesn't have he says, but see, none of these guys are technically signed to PBC. They go fight to fight anyways. But they make it a point, him and his team, to say that we're not signed to Showtime, like we're not Showtime fighters or whatever. So
he really needs to get somebody.
He'll be the man. He'll be the mandatory soon enough, and he'll be ordered to fight for a title soon enough. Yeah. So he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay.
I hope so, and I hope they don't leave him out to pasture too long, because he's overdue on a title shot. He's ready to go. He's the best fighter in the middleweight division, not named Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. Yeah.
And him and Terrence Crawford, I think that would be a huge fight. But, again, not many people know him. So, big fight for us anyway.
Sure.
All right. Let's talk about the upcoming fights here coming up. And not a whole lot. We got the big one, though, coming up. October 27th from Managua, Nicaragua on ESPN. Jonathan Gonzalez versus Gerardo Zapata, 12 rounds for Gonzalez's WBO junior flyweight title. October 27th on DAZN, Amanda Serrano versus Danilo Ramos, 12 rounds for Serrano's IBF, WBA, and women's featherweight titles. So they'll fight for 20 minutes and call somebody the champion. Antonio Vargas is on that undercard versus Hernan Marquez, 10 rounds bantamweights. Not exactly a stellar card there on DAZN, guys. Shock. I know you're shocked. October 28th on DAZN, Oshaki Foster versus Eduardo Hernandez, 12 rounds for Hernandez's WBC junior lightweight title. And there you go. Now, on October 28th from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ESPN pay-per-view, Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, just 10 rounds heavyweights. There's no titles on the line. Fabio Wardley versus David Adelaye, 12 rounds heavyweights. Joseph Parker versus Simon Keane, 10 rounds heavyweights. Let's see here. And there's a couple more on there I don't recognize. I'm not sure you would either, but I don't know. Moses Atuyama versus the dreaded TBA. He's a heavyweight. And Arslanbek Makhmudov versus Agron Smaliki, 10 rounds heavyweights. So there you go. Not a pay-per-view card, not a stellar card, but Beeb, there's a train wreck in the room. Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, definitely a train wreck here. Let's talk about this for a minute. All right, let's break this fight down. This is ESPN pay-per-view fight. That's the one you're going to see, Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. Beeb, I've gone over this fight a billion times in my head. So much so that DraftKings, I was just on DraftKings just a few minutes ago, and they don't even have a line on this fight.
They don't have a line for it?
They don't have a line for it. I didn't see a line for it. See if you can do me a favor. See if you can find a line for it.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. That'll be interesting, right? The undercard's pretty good. And I was listening to Fury's manager do an interview with Boxing King Media. Shout out to Boxing King Media. I was watching the interview on Saturday. And I guess Ronaldo's going to be there. I think Lennox Lewis is going to be there. Larry Holmes is going to be there. A whole bunch of fighters.
Huge fight, right?
Yeah, they're bringing everybody. A lot of people from the sports world are going to be there. Bacoli versus Takam is on the undercard. David Adelaide is on the undercard versus what's that guy's name it's not going to be for the British title, but David Adelaide's on there. So it's a pretty solid undercard. But I think they're really doing a great job promoting this event. And every time, like Turki Al Sheikh, who's in charge of the entertainment for Saudi Arabia and was very instrumental in putting this together, he's tweeting out things about the fight. And I'm looking at the tweets. They're getting like 15 million views, and the amount of comments, likes, and retweets.
Ridiculous.
The engagement that this event is getting on social media. I'm going to be honest. Whether or not this translates into pay-per-view buys, I don't know. But I can't even remember seeing this much engagement on social media for a boxing event in a long time, if ever.
Yeah, and it is. It's an event. How much is the pay-per-view?
$80. It's expensive. I mean, it's sad that we have to pay that much, but I've been thinking about this, and I went to bed last night thinking about this because this was weighing heavy on my mind.
Sure.
And I said to myself, you know what? Since you are the founding member and the president of the Furymaniacs,
sure,
you owe it to set an example that I have to buy this paper.
You have to.
There's no way I have to buy this paper. How could I say that I'm the leader of the Furymaniacs and I don't buy this pay-per-view? I'd be the laughing stock of the Furymaniacs. I have to buy this event.
You could always lie about it.
No, I wouldn't be able to deal with it, man. Wouldn't be able to look the
Somebody
rest
said, I'll buy it on Reddit. Somebody said, I'll wait till somebody uploads it on YouTube. Reese Mack said that. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll buy it because it's just, to me, the train wreck factor. I'm going to buy it. I bought the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fights. I'll buy this one.
I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I have to. I mean, I owe it.
We got to buy it, right? I mean, you and I, we bought the tension fight. I mean, we were,
Usyk's gonna be there. He's gonna get in the ring. They're gonna announce the fight for December 23rd. I mean, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a great event, man. So I got the odds. Fury is a minus 1250. Ngannou is a plus 700.
Minus 1250. Minus 1250.
When Floyd fought Conor, right? Conor was like, I think he was like a plus 350 or a plus 4. Like the odds weren't that wide.
No, they weren't.
This is wide.
Listen, man. We've all saw, I don't know. And if you guys haven't seen Francis Ngannou training for this fight, you can go look it up on YouTube or wherever. I tell you, Tony, come on, Lordy, you're a family man. Why waste the money on that event? That's right. I know, right? My son will want to watch it too. So I do this for the kids, of course. I'll tell you this, man. Beeb, is there any way we've seen him train anything like that? And we've seen him in there and he can knock people out. Okay. No question. With 4-ounce gloves, he can knock people out. But anybody over 200 pounds, I believe, can knock you out with 4-ounce gloves. I really, truly believe that. Francis Ngannou is skilled. He's a very skilled fighter. To underestimate this guy would be a huge mistake. That's no question about it. In the octagon. All right. And he is a skilled fighter, and he's skilled with his hands in the octagon. A la Chuck Liddell was a skilled fighter with his hands in the octagon, and he got mostly knockouts. And Ngannou really does the same type of style, for Ngannou. That being said, man, I don't see any possible way he beats Tyson Fury. Like none. I think he would have a better chance if Mike Tyson was in there with him. You know what I mean? A prime Mike Tyson. Because at least Mike Tyson's going to stand in front of you. Fury's not going to stand in front of that guy. That guy is what is Fury? 6'7", 270, and you can't hit that guy with a handful of rice. He's too slick, man. And you think your first time in the ring, right? Your first time boxing against a world champion. I mean, give me a break. Like, there's no way you're winning this fight. I can't see a way. Even if you clip him, how are you going to clip him solid? This is a guy that got knocked down by Wilder, his right hand, on multiple occasions. We can say on multiple occasions, right? Let's just take that first fight when he got knocked out. 12th round, dog tired, hit with a right and then a left on the way down, knocked out, got back up. Did you see the side-by-sides of Deontay Wilder throwing a right hand and Francis Ngannou throwing a right hand?
I wish I didn't, but I did.
It's one of those things where you're flushing $80 down the door because you know what's going to happen. Why are we doing this, B? Why are we doing this? Why are we paying for this? What do you and I think? You and I both know what's going to happen here. Why are we tuning in? Do we actually subconsciously think something different is going to happen or something may happen?
You have a better chance of seeing Ringside Robert win GQ magazine's Man of the Year than
He's a handsome fellow.
Robbie's
a handsome fellow. If you haven't seen him, he's a handsome fellow.
Than seeing Francis Ngannou beat Tyson Fury.
That's not nice. What's the matter with you?
You told me to say it before the show.
I told you. I wrote that whole script out and gave it to you.
that was part of the monologue you had.
That was part of the monologue I have.
Right. Part of the monologue you instructed me to say today. So I mean, please.
I forgot I'm your writer. I'm your comedy writer.
But yeah, this is. I'm gonna buy this. I got to ask the guys in the chat, the UK guys, is David Adelaide versus Fabio Wardley still on this undercard? Because I heard it was still on the undercard, but I don't.
It sounded like it was, but I didn't see it on there. That's the other thing. I didn't see it
on BoxRec. Some of these fights, like this isn't listed as an upcoming fight on BoxRec. Oh, okay. Team Batman says yes. This wasn't listed as an upcoming fight on BoxRec. BoxRec's kind of weird. They're not listing all the fights right now that are upcoming sometimes.
Well, so this is an exhibition, not a fight, correct? Or is
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's being sanctioned by the BBBOC, so it has to be a real fight, right? I don't know.
That's the British Board of Boxing, right?
Yeah,
what are they doing in Abu Dhabi?
Well, in Saudi, I don't think Saudi has an actual commission, right?
It's in Riyadh, isn't it? It's in Riyadh.
I
keep saying Abu Dhabi. That was where the UFC was yesterday.
Yeah, it's in Saudi.
Riyadh. So. I thought it was Riyadh anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be sanctioned. So I mean, yeah. You know what's funny too? When you go on BoxRec, they have like they have a designation for like regular boxing, and they have like a designation for misfits. And
oh, do they?
Yeah, and some of these.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Tommy Fury KSI fight went down on BoxRec as an official fight, but a lot of the other fights on that same card were listed under misfits. They weren't like regular boxing fights, I guess. So I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That really is.
Misfits has its own little thing on BoxRec now. It's not like it's like its own sport.
Yeah, why is the British Boxing Board of Control sanctioning this?
I'm not sure if Saudi has a commission.
Saudi absolutely has a commission.
They do?
I would have.
I'm not sure. I'll be honest. Let's Google it. Does Saudi Arabia have a boxing commission? You could be right. I don't know. I don't know. But that's a good question. Does Saudi Arabia have a boxing commission? Does
Saudi Arabian Boxing Federation? Yes, they do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't make any sense why
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up. I always get Saudi Arabia. I always take them for one or the other, and they're not the same place, obviously.
Yeah.
But I always think of like one or the other.
Saudi Arabia
Boxing, salute.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia Boxing Federation. Yeah, they have it, I guess.
Yeah.
They actually have a Middle East Boxing Commission too.
Yeah. So I don't understand why what the British board is doing there.
Yeah.
If anything, they're out of their jurisdiction. No, it's not like we can have the,
Yeah, I guess
the New York Athletics Commission doing a fight in Riyadh.
The British Boxing Board of Control is weird because for instance, if you have a Las Vegas boxing license or a New York boxing license, you can go over there and fill out some paperwork and ask them permission to fight, and you don't have to get a British Board of Control boxing license. You don't have to get a BBBOC boxing license to fight in Britain. Tyson Fury to this day still does not have a BBOC boxing license. He uses his Las Vegas license that he had in Las Vegas. He uses that same license. So that's kind of weird how they do things over there. But
yeah, it's odd. It's odd.
It's crazy.
Reese Mack brought up something here. Ngannou has to go to the ribs the whole fight. I think he has to do body shots the whole fight.
Listen,
Babe.
Let's not even try to break this down. Come on.
All right, here's what we're going to do. How does Francis Ngannou win this fight?
A couple things have to happen.
Tyson Fury has to break his leg on the way to the ring.
Tyson Fury has to blow out his ACL on the way to the ring. That's number one.
I think that's a good start.
His water needs to be drugged.
Yes. They need to tamper with something over there.
And Francis Ngannou has to have lead pipes in his gloves.
What about those egg weights? I don't think they'll
Or-
do the same. I
or
don't
or
think those
egg
egg weights will
weights.
do it.
Or
But,
egg weights, right?
yeah.
And even then, it's going to be a tough ask for him to win. For
Even
all
with
those
the
things.
ACL gone.
Everything, yeah.
Even with the ACL.
That's right. That's right.
Bruce Gass, Boxing and Jazz says, who's buying the Fury for $80?
We'll find out. We'll find out next
We
week.
are. Yeah, we are. We're
We'll
losers.
find out
We
next
get it.
week.
Is it, I mean, to me, there's, I don't think that he just doesn't have this skill set. If they were in the octagon, it's a completely different animal. He's taking him down and he's beating the snot out of him.
Yes.
And even though Ngannou's not really known for his wrestling, he's a decent enough wrestler to put you on your back, if you don't know what you're doing, which Fury doesn't, and I think, Ngannou would definitely beat him in short order.
Yeah.
But again, this is boxing and I expect the same thing to happen. Do you think he knocks out Ngannou?
Well, now that they have the Usyk fight waiting in the wings,
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, there's no need for him to carry him. He's got I would think that he would probably try to get him out of there really early. Why even mess around with a guy like this? So
yeah, do you think he tries to get him out of there in the first round? Do you think it's like
maybe the second round? Maybe he'll let him go one round and then blow him out in the second round.
Do you think he underestimated him like Floyd underestimated McGregor?
Well, Floyd carried McGregor because he bet on himself for a 10th round.
I know what Floyd says he did, but I also know what I saw too.
I went back and watched it, and I was watching Floyd I think he carried him.
You think he carried him? You think he gave him all the first 3 rounds? Yeah.
Absolutely. Without question. I would bet my life.
And then we saw Floyd fight again, Logan Paul, and that was a completely shot Floyd.
That was many years later.
I don't think he carried him. I just don't think he's got it.
I believe he. I believe he did.
Of course he's going to say it to save face.
I don't even think he said it.
He did say it. He absolutely said it. Yeah,
then
he absolutely said it.
Then I saw him hit Logan Paul, right? And Logan Paul was like going down, and he grabbed him and picked him back. I'll show you the clip. He literally, and then Logan Paul's telling him, "Take it easy, man. Take it like." I'm just telling you, I don't think he's going all out against these guys in these instances. I just don't. He's got to make a show. He's got to make a show
of it.
That's just my opinion.
So I think you and I are both in agreement. There is nothing Francis Ngannou can do short of taking off the gloves, picking him up and throwing him on the ground and putting him in an arm bar that he's going to beat this guy.
I mean,
I don't know why this was such, I really don't understand why this is such a big, I really believe that people think that Ngannou has a chance here.
Paulie Malignaggi said something, and I feel like he made a very disparaging comment about the UFC fans, about how they can be swayed into thinking like how many people thought McGregor was going to beat Floyd. Like the whole
I didn't understand that.
Brendan Schaub was like,
Brendan Schaub's a moron.
All these people from the MMA community, they were like talking about the fight, like they were betting on hopes and dreams, not reality, right?
Sure.
And there's going to be a lot of people that are in that same category for this fight. There's going to be a lot of UFC fans that I'm reading comments like they did a face-off.
Clarissa knows what she's talking about. That's why you don't even give women a chance on this show. You just like to go ahead.
I know that Floyd bet on himself. I know for a fact.
Clarissa, I believe in you. All right.
Floyd bet on himself. To stop.
You know this for a fact?
In the 10th,
you know this for a fact?
Yeah, I saw the ticket.
You saw the ticket? Yeah, that he posted on social media.
I saw the bet slip. He bet on himself to knock out McGregor in the 10th round. Just telling you the truth. But yeah, so I was watching the face. What is that thing? They had like a face-to-face that they
like face-off or whatever.
Yeah.
And BT Sports or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's TNT Sport now. They have, I guess, whatever. It's the UK thing. and they were doing the face off, and Carl Frampton was the guy who was moderating it, and I'm reading the comments. And like, yeah, Francis has. I'm going down and reading the comments. Francis has a great shot here. He can land the big knockout punch. Like there's people out there in the MMA community that really think that their guy has a shot here, and it's ridiculous. But what are you gonna do? Everyone has a right to hope and dream, right? Everyone has a right to dream.
I tell you, yeah, I don't see any way it happens, man. I don't see any way it happens.
No, zero. Yeah,
chance. This is bad. I mean, this was like, what makes you think you could just do this? What makes you think you could just step in here and do this against a guy that skilled? And I guarantee when you look at Tyson Fury, yeah, he doesn't look that skilled. If you just look at him and like the average guy on the street, he doesn't look like an athlete. He doesn't look the best fighter on the planet. He is literally the best fighter on the planet. No one can beat that guy. Nobody.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, you have to call him the best fighter on the planet because who else can beat this guy in the ring? Nobody. Not one person. No. 6 rounds. I think it goes less than 6 rounds. Ngannou will tire it out, and he'll get slept in 6 rounds. You know what? I don't think he gets slept. What I think happens, I think the ref is going to stop that fight. I think it'll be a stoppage. I don't think he'll get knocked out.
The over-under is 4.5 rounds.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know, man. I like that under.
I like the under.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, he knows he's got that big fight in December. He ain't want to fuck around, bro.
No, that's a lot of money on the line for him. That's a lot of money, bro. On the line for him.
A lot of money.
And I'll tell you that, and somebody inboxed me the other day, asked me this question, and he said, I know you guys like Fury, but what do you think about him turning around 10 weeks later and fighting Usyk? And I told him, and I know we had talked about this, but I had told him, I said, I think he's using this as a training camp. I think he's using this, as like a weight camp or a training camp just to get into shape, and then he's going to use the other 6 to 8 weeks for Usyk. He'll take some time off after this.
Usyk's already training, he said. Usyk's already been training. Yeah. And
typically, what is your camp for? 6 weeks? 6 weeks, typically 6 to 8 weeks.
About 8 weeks, usually 8 weeks. Yeah. And Usyk's saying, I've already started like my pre-camp, right? Yeah. So then
this is like a pre-camp for him, I believe. Yeah, I really believe that. Yeah.
And then he's going to get paid to, again, I don't want to disrespect Francis Ngannou, but he's getting paid to basically have a sparring session. This is not a real fight, in my opinion. No. And I mean that respectfully. No. And I'm going to buy it anyway. So no one that's promoting the fight can yell at me. You're getting my money. You're getting my money.
You're getting mine too. I'm going to buy it too.
I'm going to buy it. I broke down and I said I have to buy it. I have to buy this fight.
Yeah, it's one of those things. King of 47 says Ngannou is going to shock the world. I got Ngannou by KO. Okay. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about it for a minute. What if, Beeb, he hits the lotto and lands that money right hand, catches him, and Fury goes clean out? Or for whatever reason, can't continue. What happens then? What does the landscape look like?
I can't even imagine it, man.
I can't either.
I can't even imagine it. I'm trying to there's no way I could see, I just can't see it.
Can you imagine if Ngannou knocks him out, or if Ngannou wins this fight somehow wins it, they'll rematch. That Usyk fight, gone. They'll rematch this fight and run it back for $1 billion, man. That fight will be worth so much money. If you think it's popular now, if that happens, my gosh, can you imagine?
I can't even fathom it.
Can you fathom the amount of money these two will get for that rematch?
I can't even fathom it.
It'll be inhuman. I mean, it really will. You're talking about millions. And in Saudi, they're going to rematch in Saudi, right?
I can't even
Crazy.
imagine.
Crazy. What do you do?
Can't even imagine.
Unbelievable. I can't imagine it. I don't want to see it happen. But listen, anything can happen. You guys got gloves on your hands. You're throwing hands at each other. You know as well as I do, anything can happen. Is it
Got a better chance of
is it
seeing
probable?
Ringside. You got a better chance of seeing Ringside Robert go on a date with Taylor Swift than that happening, bro. I'm just being honest.
I heard he turned down Taylor Swift. That's what I heard. All right. That's what I heard.
I'm just being honest.
What's the matter with you? Ringside Robert, 530. Come on in.
Thank you for taking early shots at me today, Joe. I really appreciate it.
I mean, this
David,
this is
what's
part of
the matter
Eric's
with you?
like Eric is telling me to say these
Yeah,
things.
right. Eric said it.
I never
right.
I never was
Yeah.
thinking of saying this is part of the Eric monologue. I'm being honest.
Since when have you become a puppet for Eric? I don't
Right,
see Eric pulling
right.
those strings.
Whoa, I mean, let's not go that like I didn't say I was a puppet. Well, let's not go down that road, okay? You don't have to call me a puppet.
He called you a
I don't got no
puppet,
one's hand up my
son.
back. All right? No one's pulling the strings over here.
Not unless you pay for it, of course.
I'm a team player over here.
Yeah, Rick. It's like he's gonna pay the $80 for the ridiculous show. Yeah.
Are you going to pay for it, Robert?
No,
You're
that's
just going
my
to the-
birthday. I'm going to celebrate other ways.
You
Thank
calling a
you.
couple
You're
escorts,
gonna
or what are you doing for your
celebrate
birthday?
What are you gonna do, man? Go to the strip club, man? Do some mud wrestling with some females? Cut it.
I
out.
have no
That'd be awesome.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm not watching that show. My God,
Robert,
Are you hitting?
guys
Are you hitting a
just
strip
throw
club for
your
your
money
birthday?
no.
That was emphatic.
are you going to the massage? Are you going to the massage parlor for your birthday, Robert?
No,
That he paused there for a minute.
He did. He paused.
He was-
you know he's going to the
He
massage
paused
parlor.
there for a minute.
oh my God, you two, you're something else. But no, ridiculous. Guys, I'm very disappointed. I understand why it's happening. I know there's a lot of money involved, but I'm very disappointed that something like this is occurring.
What happens, Robert, if the impossible happens?
Well, then the fight we really want to see is delayed or taken off the table for
I
good.
think it's off the table.
Because
You know that rematch is coming.
yeah,
If Fury was smart, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If he was smart, he'd take a dive.
Oh, come on, Eric.
Fury takes a dive. Listen to what I'm
if I
telling
was-
you. If Fury
Okay.
takes a dive, right? This is a rematch. He'll never, want for money again. Are you kidding me? You know how much money would be in a rematch of this? Come on, man.
yeah.
Come on. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not. The sad part about it, Eric, is no, you're not wrong.
Robert,
not at all.
stop
You're
feeding
darn
this.
right.
Stop feeding
You're
this.
darn
this-
right,
this-
I'm not wrong.
Stop
All he
feeding
has to
this
do, B,
insanity,
Right.
Robert.
Is go in there and
No.
get caught on the chin. All he has to go
As
in there
a-
and get caught on the
as
chin.
a-
He
as a-
goes down, right? He goes out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's a bigger puncher than Deontay Wilder.
No, he's
Anybody. Francis
Yep.
Ngannou becomes the biggest heavyweight in the division, son.
no.
And he rematches
and
Tyson
that
Fury.
reminds me, Eric. That reminds
Beautiful.
me, Eric. In their three fights together, Wilder and Fury, Wilder put Fury down 4 times, and all 4 times Tyson Fury got up.
You
He's
already
the only
said that. You already
heavyweight
said that
that
earlier in the
has
show,
been able to
Robert.
get up from a.
You already said that earlier in the show. What is this instant replay?
No,
we already said this.
No,
Robert.
he didn't. He didn't
Eric
go into
already.
detail,
Eric
Joe.
already said it.
And by the way, Fury is 6'9", Eric, not 6'7". He's 6'9".
Oh, wow. Hey, he's 6'9". That's even,
yeah.
that's even
Robert,
better.
first of
Yeah.
all, if you ever saw Tyson Fury stand next to Magic Johnson, who actually is 6'9", he looks shorter than him. I'm just being honest.
Right.
A lot of people
Magic.
like Mrs. Herrick. Mrs. Herrick told me you list yourself at like 6'1". You're really 5'3".
Oh, give me a break.
A lot
I'm
of
not even
people.
close
A
to
lot of
that.
people lie about their height, Robert. You included.
I say I'm
I'm not
5'9".
even close to that.
I'm like 5'7". You
That's
know,
that's not
Yeah.
the only measurement you lie about. I don't want to go down that road. But you're not always honest
give
with
me
your
a break.
measurements. You're not always honest with your measurements, Robert. So I don't want to hear you, all right, being the measurement authoritarian.
Give me a break.
Give me a break.
Robert. So you're not paying for this
No,
fight,
I'm
right?
gonna,
He's buying it. He's
no,
buying it.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
have a
you're
nice.
He's a
I'm gonna have
full-fledged liar.
I'm gonna have a nice break. I'm gonna have a nice break from boxing,
Yeah, okay,
and
Nice break from
I'm gonna
boxing.
enjoy my birthday.
Sure you will, Robert.
So what do you got?
Well,
What do you
yeah.
got planned for your birthday? What do you got planned for your birthday?
Oh, my mom will probably make a cake, and we'll probably have a nice dinner. But other than that, if she's got other plans for me, I don't know what they are yet.
First of all,
She's gonna bring a bunch of girls over for you. You know, it's like with
first of
balloons
all,
and
let me just
I'll
say
give
this.
fire
Right.
trucks and hookers and guns.
First of all, let me just say
Give me a break.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. First of all, why does Mrs. Herrick have to make the cake? Why can't she go out and buy it? She does enough cooking around the house. First of all, she does your
son.
laundry. She does your laundry, right?
She wants to make him a cake.
Does
It's her
your laundry.
son.
She does your laundry, right?
That's right.
She mows the
Eric,
grass.
you
She
can
mows
tell-
the grass, and she
Eric,
takes the trash out, and she cooks
Eric,
your dinners.
Oh my
What do you ever do around
Eric,
here? Can't you even go pick up the
Eric,
cake? You don't even have the
Eric,
decency
you can
to
tell.
go down to the
Eric,
store.
you
and
can
pick
tell
up the
that he's
cake.
never had kids. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't get
You
it.
don't
man.
even have the common decency to go to the store and pick up the cake for Mrs. Herrick. What else does she
Oh my
have to
God.
do around there? You work that woman to the bone.
Give me a break.
And
Give
she
me a
told
break.
me on
No,
her
but-
birthday you bought her a scratch ticket, and that was it.
Hey, he gave her a chance at
And,
winning the
you know,
lotto.
Honestly, look, I'm looking forward to the I'm looking forward to the Usyk Fury fight. But seriously, I hope it takes place like in January or February. I don't want it close to Christmas. Don't put a pay-per-view close to Christmas. That's not good.
Yeah.
Difference does
I
it make?
agree
one
with you,
month,
but
Robert?
I'd rather listen, man. How many good fights are there in December? Hardly any. So I'm okay with that.
I mean, for Christ's sakes,
Yeah.
Robert, what difference does it make if it's in December or January? I mean, come on. You're already not going to buy. You're already not buying this pay-per-view. You are going to buy this pay-per-view. I don't even fucking believe it.
This is great. This is great. Hang on, Robert. Hang on, Robert. Hold on. I got to read this comment. Robert,
I didn't buy the
hang on.
Tommy Fury pay-per-view.
He doesn't hang on. This is
all right.
All right, hang on. King of 47 says he beat Overeem, talking about Alistair Overeem, talking about Francis Ngannou here, who's a world-class kickboxer, which he is, who's supposed to have hands way better than him. He's going to shock the world. King of 47, would you like to do a pie bet on this?
Jesus.
He better call himself AK-47 because that's the only chance.
Oh, there's kids watching this show, Robert. Come on.
Let's not enough with that type of talk, please. Please. Don't go down that road, please.
Ngannou cannot be the new WBC champion because the title is not on the line here.
10-round fight. It's a non-title fight.
Non-title fight, yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they even sanctioned this. You know what I mean? Like this is like who sanctioned this? Memphis? You know? Were they sanctioning the Tyson Lewis fight?
It sounds it was Nashville or Memphis or somewhere like, but it sounds like this is going to count in Fury's record as a real fight. It should not.
Is it so? It is sanctioned then. If it's a sanctioned 10-round fight,
it sounds like it is.
Yeah,
sounds like it is.
If there'll be judges, I guess we'll know sooner when there's judges there.
Robert, first of all,
right?
Why are you so angry about this fight when Tyson Fury already committed to fighting Alexander Usyk?
He should be fighting for the undisputed heavyweight title on Saturday, Joe. I mean, come on.
Again with your impatience. Again with your impatience. Like, you can't wait like a couple weeks. What's wrong with you?
I know. We have not seen an undisputed heavyweight champion since 1999. How much longer do we have to wait,
Well,
Joe?
Well, I got another one for you. Okay, let's do this. We all know the outcome of this fight, except for King of 47. Everybody else knows except for him, okay? But does this fight delay the Usyk fight?
No.
You don't
Yeah,
think anything
it does.
happens? You
I
don't
bet
think anything happens?
I think one thing happens.
I think the fight, yeah.
We're locked in for the 20. We're locked in for the 23rd. We're locked in.
I think the fight happens, Eric, but I don't think it happens in December.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it gets pushed back.
February.
I think it gets pushed back.
I don't think it gets pushed back.
Yeah, I think it gets pushed back.
Eddie Hearn wants to schedule a fight on December 23rd. He's not even scheduling it because he's hurt. He believes that fight's going to happen on the 23rd. He's hearing it. Tyson Fury's manager said that fight's happening on the 23rd. I believe him.
Look,
like he called you personally.
I believe him.
If you want to make money, don't put a fight near Christmas. You do it afterwards.
Robert, again,
Christmas for boxing fans, son.
Everyone is going to buy it, Robert.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
All right. Stop with all this propaganda that you love to do. You come on here and you say all these things and you try to like be an alarmist and you try to like be everyone's
2024 is when we're
try to be
you
try to be an economy authority here. You know, you want to be an economist. Enough with this. All right, Robert? Please.
Okay, I'm out of here, guys.
All right,
you're gonna buy the pay-per-view, so stop front.
Oh, stop it. Come on, what's the matter with you?
Thinks he's an economist now. We can't do pay-per-views and before Christmas.
Economist.
What does that matter, Robert? What's the world stop because it's Christmas?
I know. I'm not a big fan of the holidays anyway. So especially like around Christmas, I'm never a big fan of Christmas.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I love to eat a good meal, nice pies, honey dips. Like come over. I don't want to talk about it, but I like Thanksgiving, man.
Sure.
I like Thanksgiving.
The massage parlors are open on Thanksgiving.
A lot to be thankful for, man. I just
right. It's beautiful.
Not like that miserable little.
Have some pie. Go to the parlors. It's all good. What are you gonna do? All right. News and rumors this week. Not too many, but a big one. Jake Paul extends his deal with DAZN. Jake Paul's MVP boxing or whatever he does. I think that's what some Amanda Serrano thing is or whatever. It's extended.
MVP promotions, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, but that's not the news. That's not the big news. The big news is after almost 40 years, Showtime is exiting boxing. HBO or Showtime will no longer carry boxing after the end of the year. Which means I can cancel both subscriptions because that's all I used to watch them for. I like HBO.
Really?
Though. HBO, yeah. Yeah, that's it. As far as Showtime goes, I never watched anything on Showtime. I mean, I hardly ever. And HBO is kind of the same way. I mean, we watched Game of Thrones or whatever when it was on and
I like
some of this stuff. HBO has at least got some good like programming on there, but Showtime I never really watch anyway. So Beeb, what was your reaction? Because we had talked about this actually a couple of weeks ago when we heard this. Nothing was official, but we heard the writing was on the wall.
I'll be honest. I was one of the non-believers when I was hearing the rumors. You know that. I thought they were going because I started seeing a lot of the content be carried over to Paramount Plus, and I thought that was going to be the new destination.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going this route. I did because
most people did, but I was being.
I know you were. No, I know you were.
I was being optimistic, and I was wrong.
I was thinking that same thing because I was like, well, HBO got out of boxing, and Showtime's not really doing a whole lot here. I mean, PBC's not really doing a whole lot. So they had the Crawford fight and everything like that. So now so they're gone now. I mean, HBO and Showtime, they're both gone. They're not coming back with it. Now Boxer, Boxer, where's that from?
Ben Shalom. Ben Shalom's the promoter.
Ben Shalom. Yeah. NBC has picked that up. Peacock, excuse me. So it'll be on their app.
NBC owns Peacock, so it's like
no, but you're right though. it'll probably be most likely to be on that Peacock app, not on NBC primetime programming or anything like that.
Yeah. There was a fight this weekend on Peacock already.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Didn't even
it was
know
supposed
that.
to be Joshua Buatsi versus Dan Aziz, but that Dan Aziz got hurt, and they had the card without those two as the main event.
Yeah.
It was on Peacock. It was actually pretty good, like the production and everything.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where this shakes out now. I mean, you and I mean, we don't remember anything. I mean, we remember HBO, we remember Showtime.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I remember they had a fringe service, I know, in the Midwest called On TV. That used to only program at like 9 o'clock to 5 a.m. or something like that. And it was like one button. It was only one show you could watch. Whatever was on, you had to watch. It was pay-per-view, but boxing prior to that used to be on, the regular channels, the ABCs and the NBCs and stuff like that. Where does it go now?
The logical move would be to go on DAZN. But I'm hearing they don't want to go on. That's the rumor is they don't want to go on DAZN.
Sure.
And then another rumor was they may be going to Amazon Prime, but then now that rumor's kind of been shut down. I would not be surprised if they tried to work out a deal with Peacock, because Peacock has a sports thing, and they have like the WWE over in Peacock. So, boxing in America has always been kind of like filler content anyways.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you do put it on a sports app, it does fit in. Like Ring IQ, shout out to him. He said, boxing belongs on a sports app. It doesn't belong on a stories type network. And he's right. Because you can say what you want about DAZN really not doing well here in terms of numbers and subscriptions. But we, like I've said last week, and I've said other times, we subsidize for the rest of the world, because outside of China and the United States, people who have DAZN, they get to watch the NFL, they get to watch the, FIFA, they get to watch all these different sports, baseball, and stuff like that. And globally, DAZN has they have 65 million subscribers globally. Mm-hmm. So again, regardless of how well they do here on a consistent basis in terms for boxing, overall they're doing well.
They even pick up PBC fights overseas. You know what I mean?
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah. PBC fights are on DAZN overseas. So
and guess what? This fight with Fury and Ngannou is going to be on DAZN in certain countries.
Yeah.
So the thing is because their footprint is so large and they show so many different sports, just like ESPN shows so many different sports. They do the NBA, they do the NFL. Then they can afford to pick up boxing and I hate to be dismissive when I say this, but it's basically filler content, right?
What do you think ESPN picks it up? Could they pick it up?
I don't want to rule it out. I don't want to rule ESPN out.
You got to wonder if they can pick it up, because they got the contract with Top Rank and they may have just locked that in. You know what I mean? As far as nobody else coming on there.
I don't know, but I think I think it's a good move. Like, here's the thing. My only concern about DAZN getting PBC, they're going to increase our subscription price again. So
for more nonsense
with Peacock,
right?
With Peacock, right? The good thing with Peacock is I already have Peacock included in my cable package, so I don't have to pay for Peacock. I have Peacock Premium already included in my package. So if they do go to Peacock and they don't go crazy with the pay-per-views like they did last year and this year, then I'll be okay with it. But I don't know. Here's the thing too, Eric. I get tired of hearing this other side of the street thing too. I don't want to deal with that. So now if they go to Peacock, then they're like, oh, well, we can't, do deals with people on DAZN, or we can't do, you know what I mean? So I would like to see them go to ESPN or DAZN in the hopes that it may make these fights be easier, because I'm so tired of this other side of the street bullshit, and I don't want them to be put in a position where they can use that excuse again. So I would like for them to go on DAZN or ESPN. That would be my hopes, because if they do go on Peacock, it just kind of fractures the sport even more.
Yeah, we got another one to think about.
Yeah,
but Fox is out. I mean, I don't think Fox is completely out.
I think Fox is out.
CBS isn't really your platform to pick it up.
No.
Typically they're not anyway.
And then you remember before when they had they were doing deals and they were doing shows with multiple networks at one time so I don't know. I mean, this is just a head scratcher for me. We'll know soon enough. I mean, this
is a big one because that was their bread and butter. That was PBC's bread and butter was Showtime.
Yeah. I mean, they owe Canelo 2 more fights. They signed a 3-fight deal with them, so they owe him 2 more fights.
Well, now you got to find a place to put it on.
Yeah.
And listen, man, they've known this for a while. It's not a surprise to them. They've known this for a long time. So,
and I wouldn't be surprised if they already have somebody lined up right now and we don't even know it.
Oh, CBS is Paramount. Yeah, I guess so. Well, so there you go. That's out. Mo Money says, Eric and BB, do you think they should get rid of pay-per-view? 100%. Absolutely get rid of pay-per-view.
That's like saying, do you think we should get rid of nuclear weapons? I mean, we can think all we want. They're not going away.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, no.
That was a bad analogy. That was a bad analogy. I apologize.
What's the matter with you? I do wish that they would, if the zone, say all the boxing got to the zone, right? They were, listen, and if they raise their prices to $50 a month or whatever, then eliminate pay-per-views.
If they do less pay-per-views,
that'd be awesome.
If they do less pay-per-views and say, okay, your thing's going to be like $275 a year, I don't think I'd go. I wouldn't be. I'd be saving money, right? I spent about $500, over $500 this year on PBC pay-per-views.
It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous.
They did like 5 of them already. They did 2 tank fights, right?
Yeah.
They did Benavidez Plant, right?
Yeah.
They did Canelo Charlo, and now they're doing this pay-per-view on with David Benavidez again, right?
When is he fighting? When is Benavidez and
November 25th? That's another pay-per-view, and then there's another pay-per-view on December 9th. So 6 times 85. What the fuck is that? That's a lot of money. So that's 85 times. That's $500 something. It's $510.
Yeah,
you'd be spending $510 on Showtime pay-per-views alone. That's without the ESPN pay-per-views. That's without the DAZN pay-per-views. I bought 2 DAZN pay-per-views already this year. I spent over a.
Who was on DAZN pay-per-views? Who was on DAZN pay-per-views?
Canelo, John Ryder, and I bought that. And
that was a lousy pay-per-view too.
Yeah, and I bought that Misfits pay-per-view, and I'm going to be buying the Devin Haney Regis Prograis pay-per-view for another whopping $60.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
When it's all said and done, I'm going to be like spending like $1,200 on boxing alone this year.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And if you throw in a UFC, like the John Jones fight, that's coming up with Stipe, $85. 85, son.
And then you have these people on Twitter telling people, stop complaining. What are you, broke? Hey, listen. You don't have to be broke to not want to spend $1,200 on boxing.
Right.
That's a vacation. That's a vacation.
$100? I mean, like, dude, come on, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But I'll be interested to see how the whole thing shakes out, though.
So, I like the Showtime broadcast crew. I like the Showtime All Access. I actually like the production. So I'll miss all that. But if it's going to save me money in the long run without having to buy all these pay-per-views by them going away, then, I don't like to see people lose jobs. I'm sure a lot of people are going to lose their jobs as a result of this. So I'm not happy about that. But I am going to be happy about not having to buy all these pay-per-views if the model changes moving forward.
Mo Money, you got it. And I think, honestly, this is the way, this is the way maybe I'll start doing it. I don't know. He says, I got money, but I go to Dave & Buster's to watch with a good meal. He's right. He's 100% right. Because they probably put it on the big screen over there, or at least you could see it on the TV and you're not paying for it. at least like you said, you're watching it and you're at least eating while you're watching it. You're at least having a good meal or whatever. Or, I don't know, but I think you have the right. I think you have the right side. Omar Rodriguez says, "Beeb, how much money is that in hookers?" That's about 4 or 5, right? It's about 4 or 5.
I can't divulge that for tax purposes.
I can't say for tax purposes.
I don't want to get audited.
Yeah, you don't want to get audited. You don't want to get audited. That's for sure. Absolutely. All right, guys, that's it. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X or Twitter at JHabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter or X at Ringside73. Did you hear they're going to start charging new people $1? That was the rumor. That's that's the thing they're floating out there.
You know what else I heard they're doing?
$1. I mean, he's an idiot. This guy is a complete.
Yeah, he's out of control. This guy
completely out of control.
This guy Elon Musk is rumored to be getting rid of the block button. So I heard
that too. Yeah, I heard that too.
I got to deal with all these knucklehead trolls bothering me.
Yep.
During my social media experience.
And I will tell you this. So you know this. My car was totaled. I was in a wreck a couple of weeks ago. My car got completely totaled.
Glad you're okay.
And I had to get another one or whatever. Not my fault, but I had to get another one. So one of the cars I was looking at was a Tesla, right? And you go in there, it's like, you look at the car. The car's okay. The car's nice. There's no question about it. It's a nice car. You get in. It's a nice car. Everything's automated. It's great. But everything is extra, And I heard there's like something that you got to pay monthly on top of that, right? And I'm like, all right, So if you want like the long, but every car, from what I understand, is the same. Okay, so if you want like the one that drives 300 miles versus 250. It's got like an extra 60, 70 miles on it or whatever. That's a software upgrade. It's not like you get a brand new engine, or that's just a software upgrade, right?
If this guy Musk could charge you for the oxygen that you're breathing right now, he would do it.
Absolutely, he would.
He would do it.
Absolutely.
Insane, this guy.
Well, the craziest part. Now, there's 2 crazy parts here. When I go in, if you want to fill out if you want to buy a car, if I want to buy a Tesla, I have to hold the car. I have to say, okay, I want the black Tesla over here. I'm going to hold it, right? Then it costs you $250 to hold it. All right. And then you got to fill out your finance application. Unless you're paying cash, it's a finance application. Now, if you don't like the terms or you get declined on the finance application for whatever reason, you don't get the $250 back. The $250 also doesn't go to the car. That's their fee. It costs you. So basically what they're doing is charging you $250 to fill out an app. It's amazing. I mean, it really is. Now, not to mention, I did call my insurance because I love the car. I was like, this is all right. Let me call. Let me see what the insurance is going to be. $2,000 extra a year.
Oh my God, Eric.
A year.
Oh my.
$900. It's going to be roughly, it breaks down about $2,000 a year extra.
That's insane.
And I called somebody I knew who owns a Tesla. They said, yeah, it went up $2,000. It went up $1,800 to $2,000, depending on what you $2,000.
That's insanity.
I priced a Mercedes. I priced a Lexus because after I heard this, I was like, maybe it's just luxury car. Maybe Mercedes, Lexus, $70, $60. You know what I mean? My insurance didn't go anywhere. Like if you do the quotes or whatever, your insurance goes nowhere. It was like $60, maybe $120 extra for a Mercedes, and it was like $70 or something, whatever for a Lexus. So $140. So because we're doing it like every 6 months. So yeah, more money. Yeah, more money found a Maserati. Yeah, if you go on to Carvana or what's that other one, CarMax. You can find some really good deals on there. And he found a Maserati. I saw like Porsches on there and everything.
Those are very
like
nice
that.
cars. Those are very nice. And
great.
you know what's good about those? They're very rare. Like a lot. No one really drives those around. But in my area, I don't see.
I don't ever see. I mean, I'm in Ohio.
I don't see Maseratis.
We see more tractors than anything else.
Yeah, those are nice cars, Maserati.
Yeah, they're awesome, man. And 2016, you got it in good shape. You can't beat that, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But and I guarantee his insurance went up, but I guarantee it wasn't by $2,000.
No.
I'll tell you that. And I was like, so I did some research. I'm like, why on earth is this $2,000 extra? It makes no sense, And from what I read, those parts at Tesla are so expensive,
ridiculous,
it drives the price up, right? Because if you just get in a little parking lot accident,
where they coming from? China too? They're probably coming from China.
Who knows? But you can also check this out. You can also only take it to a Tesla body shop, like a Tesla approved body shop, which the work there goes way up. So yeah, they must charge an arm and a leg. If you got to get maintenance on those things, or you got to get like a bumper replaced or something, like you got in an accident or something like that, and you got to get something repaired, man, that's got to be way out there. That cost. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. All right, guys. We will see you guys next week, man.